What is good, guys? Today is just another normal day of me playing pretend YouTuber. In all seriousness though, we are definitely working on the 33.4 today in my driveway. It's a hot summer's day. It is 31 degrees, which is beautiful in all honesty. Hopefully we get some shade in the driveway and I don't melt. But before I get in and I show you these parts that we're putting on, which by the way is a bit of a sponsored deal as well and is a huge freaking deal. These parts are not cheap. Make sure you hit that like button and drop us a comment throughout the video and tell us what you think. But with all that aside, let's get into these parts. So most of you guys already know we are running DGR coilovers in the 33.4. And these guys were actually one of my first sponsors for everything that I do. Now, they sent me a brand new pair of coilovers. Not like there's anything wrong with the current ones in here. Let me show you. This is their entirely new range and design for drifting and racing. Two-way adjustability for both controlling when like the strut piston needs to go up and down. So you got your damper control on the top and the bottom on the reservoir, external reservoir. My custom soft spring rates for awesome grip and controllability in the R chassis, which we can talk about spring rates later, but just a little tip. All the spring rates that you generally get in normal street and drifting coilover kits from any company are all wrong. They're too stiff. But yeah, long story short, this is the new coilover range that they've sent out. I'm really excited to put this in the car. I seriously, I've never played around with coilovers with external reservoirs and two-way adjustability. I spoke to Oka-chan about them. He said that it is a bit difficult to get the settings right. Like it takes you quite a few in and out on the track to get everything perfect. But once you get it perfect, two-way adjustability is the best for drifting. So this is them. Beautiful, beautiful quality, absolutely amazing. Everything's like billet alloy, and it just, I don't know, the attention to detail on these things just looks incredible. I love them, and yeah, I'm just way too keen to put these on the car and see what the car feels like. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna jack up the car, get everything ready. We're gonna do the fronts first, because I feel like they're the most difficult out of, any car to do, because there's a lot more going on in the front than the rear, and then we'll get the rear done. I do obviously have to work with the fact that this is a shared driveway with my neighbors, so I can't just put my car in the middle and block them off, especially when this guy's due back soon. So enough of that, let's just get into it and get the job done, and then go out for a rip with the new coilovers. Okay, so let's get started on the first one here. We're gonna do the driver's side first. And just quickly, before any of you guys are like, oh my God, where are your jack stands, Sam? Got the tire and everything under this side. My legs pretty much aren't going under there, so we should be fine, as well as I'm keeping the tire on the other side. So if at all the jack fails, it will be fine and I won't get crushed and die. So you guys don't have to panic about that. But yeah, we're gonna pull the old coilover out, put the new one in and go from there. Okay, so I got the first one in and I was just doing an angle check to make sure that the wheel definitely doesn't hit the reservoir in there, because it actually comes in up here, right? But check it out, heaps and heaps and heaps of clearance there actually. If you look at it from this side, you can kind of see it better. But yeah, it's definitely we're good. We're gonna hit the sway bar and the tension arm before we even hit that reservoir. So we're good there on angle, so really happy about that. So now all I got to do is finish my measurements, lock those rings down, and then we'll go do the other side, get those swapped out. But man, I'm so keen. Oh man, so excited now. That was the only concern I had, was whether or not the angle kit would clear those reservoirs. If anyone wants my 33 coilovers that are set up perfect for you to go and drift with a grippy setup 33 R33 Skyline, hit me up. I'm going to sell these for 500 bucks. Probably better if you're in Japan though, because then you don't have to pay shipping. Let's do it. All right, so check this out guys. We got the front completely done now. I'm so happy that those reservoirs cleared with the angle kit and everything. And I also like just quickly looked into it. When we do add the spacers and get bigger wheels as well, it looks like it's going to clear it even more. So it means in the future, if we do change those tension arms and sway bar and stuff so we can get more angle out of it, we're going to be fine. So to do the rear, what I'm going to actually do is move all of this stuff further down, and I'm going to line up the rear tire with here. And open up the gate fully, and I'll just sit up there and work on this side and get that side done. But before I do any of that, I am going to move it in the middle, get the seats out so we can undo the top of the coilovers once it is in that position, because yeah, it's going to be so close up there. The only way in there is going to be through the driver's door, and that's going to be a headache if I can't get I will not be able to get the seats out through the driver door, that's for sure. All right, let's get to it. So we're up to the final corner, and to celebrate, I figured we could have an ice cold, the premium from Georgia. One of the best coffees here at the moment, actually the best I've ever had. So if you're in Japan and you're visiting, definitely get one of these. This is what spoilers were meant for, man. Pretty much a portable bar. Anyways, let's do this ASMR coffee time, yo. Oh yeah! Gonna enjoy this. So much better when it's ice cold. All right, let's smash this wheel off, get the coilovers in. Also, quick pro tip for you guys. Leave your seats out in the back until you've got all your settings dialed in, because there's nothing worse than you wanting to change your dampening settings and having to take your seats out just to get to the little adjuster. So let's get this wheel off and do it. Let's go. All right, we're going out for a little test burn, see how this thing feels. We might go to Starbucks. Did I bring my wallet? Yes, I did. Good call, Sam. Starbucks it is. Let's get a coffee, a real one. Whoa, man, this feels so good. Damn, my car feels so much like lighter and softer. Oh, it's really responsive in the front end now too. Okay, I'm excited for Nico. All right, here we are, Starbucks. I have to say too, the suspension feels amazing, but we'll get into that later. Time to order coffee. Okay, so I'm home now, enjoying my coffee, well, mocha choc chip thing. Anyways, and I took this opportunity to actually fix my idling issue. So I busted out the laptop, my tuning laptop, and opened up the Link software. And previously what I was having an issue with was actually my idle would sit at about like 800 and dupe down to like 400, 300 and want to stall out. And this is mainly because of you know, change in temperature and things like that, as well as the idle tune could be a little bit better with an actual closed loop instead of an open loop setup. So that's something I'll look into in a little bit, like to get that better, especially with my boost control as well. I've had issues with that, as you guys know. But to fix my idling issue, what I did was I kind of smoothed out the fueling table around where it wanted to idle, and also checked my idle targets as well, made sure they were all set up correctly, and also made some changes on the duty cycle for the idle air control valve. So we brought those up. There's a little stepper motor like duty cycle up a bit there, and now she's idling pretty consistently at around like 730, 750. If I give it a little blip as well, I don't seem to see it like dupe crazily too low anymore. Before it would dupe down to like 300 and it was just a bad time. So I think now for me to get it up to my target of 800 RPM at this like temperature at around 80 degrees coolant temp, is I need to adjust manually probably my idle air control valve and let a little bit more air leak in, and then I think we'll be sitting at our target at like pretty much right on 800. So I'm going to do that now, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so headlight mode right now, but this is the IACV on the RVs. And I just use this little thing here, like a little screwdriver thing that normally a socket goes into, just so I can get in there. It's not like tight or anything. I got that adjusted pretty well perfect. Made a few more adjustments to my target table, and we are now sitting perfectly at around like 830, 850, right where I want it to be. So pretty good there. And the idle's pretty consistent. We're sitting at about 13.6 AFRs, which is great as well. So overall, pretty happy now that with that idle. So we'll leave it like that. We'll see what it's like with a cold start tomorrow morning. But otherwise, guys, we're gonna go inside and we're gonna talk about how amazing these coilovers feel on this car. But yeah, let's wrap it up. Okay, so those coilovers are hands down the best coilovers I've ever had in our chassis. It feels amazing, and I'm actually really pumped to get to the track, get some like, you know, crazy speed in and hit some corners and do some drifting, and then just really get them like tuned in perfect. But how they are right now, which was just two clicks up to hard, so I went all the way down to soft, 2 clips up to hard in the rear, and then I went 6 clicks up in the front on both up and down. I've just leveled them both, you know, top and bottom, 6 in the front and 2 in the rear. It feels really good. In fact, it feels like they have a lot more travel than what the previous ones I had have. So I'm really interested, and you just cannot wait to get to the track and try them out. Plus, just driving around the street, hitting bumps and things like that, it feels so much better. Like, literally has that more travel in there, so it's nowhere near as back-breaking, if you know what I mean. With coilovers in general, I'm sure a lot of guys know that you do eventually get a sore back if you hit lots of bumps. But yeah, the softer spring rates that I put in them as well feels great. And I'm just, yeah, I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't wait to get to the track. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to probably take me like quite a few, you know, going in and out of pits a fair few times to get everything kind of dialed. But I think it's going to be worth it. I did speak to Oka-chan about them too, and he said that two-way coilovers are the best for drifting and time attack and stuff like that. The only downfall is that it can be a bit difficult to get them set up. So, you know, like pretty much just going in and out of the pits to get it perfect. But he said once you have it set up and you know, like, you know, like if you're doing time attack, what setting you use for time attack, and you have that saved and written down somewhere, and the same with like drifting, then you can just change it on the fly, and it's incredible. So gonna definitely play with it a fair bit. You know, like, you know, try and make it so that the downstroke is a little bit softer or something than the upstroke. I don't know, like there's so many different things. He's gonna help me configure it, and I'm just pumped. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, coilover kind of, I guess, install video for these DGR coilovers. And like I said, I cannot recommend their product enough. The bang for buck and what you get out of their coilovers is amazing. I have yet to have a single issue with any of their coilovers. No leaks, no knocks, no nothing. And I've been using their coilovers across my 34, 33, and then 33 again now with another set. As well as they're in my 180SX in Australia, and I had them in another car that I can't remember right now, but we're also about to get some for the Civic. So massive thank you to DGR, and I can't wait to review them at the next drift event. It's going to be sick. Leave you guys to it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Love to hear from you. See you next time. Ja mata ne.